Hello, my name is Ronald Krasuski, and I have interned at Meadowbrook Church on the facilities team directly under the facilities manager. I've worked in facilities maintenance for some time, but never at the management level. This internship has provided me with an excellent opportunity to experience my vocation from a different viewpoint. I sat down with the department manager, and we had to decide on 4 areas to cover over these 120 hours of internship. The areas were the effective management of projects to meet specific timelines, meet with contractors to collaborate and schedule work, develop effective email and communication skills, and schedule and oversee volunteers. Just about every business has projects. The ability to understand and meet the timeline has always been a necessary skill. The whole process begins with the planning stage. Effective planning can make or break a project. The key takeaway over these 120 hours of interning concerning the planning is to make sure that I fully understand the expectations or the vision of the project. I have seen projects executed flawlessly and others stumble along to completion, all of which can be traced back to the planning stage. Knowing and understanding the budget is another part of managing projects. In the facilities department at Meadowbrook Church, they are often asked to come up with the budget for a project that another department has requested. This was interesting for me to experience. Working alongside of another department to help them fulfill their plans can be just as rewarding as doing it myself. However, working within another department's budget can be challenging. This is mostly due to the people of that department not fully understanding what is required to fulfill their goal. I had the opportunity to work and help a few of them to understand what they were needing. This either caused them to expand their budget or it required me to find an alternate solution to help them meet their needs and keep the costs down. Helping them come to a solution was very rewarding. This brings me to communication. Managing any project requires some form of communication. It can't be as simple as talking to one person to working with many people throughout multiple departments as well as outside contractors. Being able to communicate is being able to keep communications clear and organized can be a challenge the bigger the project becomes. Through this internship, I have been given the opportunity to experience projects both small and large. The key takeaway here was organization. This is a must. Confusing contractors or sending information to the wrong party can cause undesirable consequences and can delay or even stall out the progress of the project. However, taking good notes, accurately relaying them to the necessary parties, and following up after meetings are some of the keys to success to achieve effective communication. During this internship, I had the opportunity to work with many contractors. As a policy, Meadowbrook Church required me to acquire 3 bids to assist them when determining the prospective budget for any large project. This process can be an interesting one. When dealing with larger projects, understanding what is expected is necessary to make sure that all contractors involved have the same information. This is necessary to ensure that each contractor is bidding the same thing, which keeps the pricing fair. When the bids come in, we want each contractor to meet the expectations to the best of their abilities. During this internship, I have learned that this bidding process requires that I am as informed as possible when dealing with these contractors. I need to make sure I know what the contractor is trying to tell me. Understanding the terms that they use and being able to speak their language shows them that I understand the process. This makes me less likely to be taken advantage of in the end. It also allows me to stay on top of the project and monitor the progress with realistic expectations. Once a project budget has been approved, selecting and scheduling the correct contractor can begin. During this internship, I have learned that it is better for me to meet and to go over the expectations with the chosen contractor before the project commences. This will allow us to make sure that we have the same expectations for the desired outcome of the project. It is at this stage that we begin to acquire all necessary paperwork needed to begin the process. Discussing payment is also part of this process. Depending on the contractor and the length of the project, a payment schedule may be required. This can come in many forms. Some contractors require half of the total amount up front, while others do not require anything. Some require a payment every 2 weeks. This is usually discussed during the scheduling process. Once all these steps are covered, we can begin scheduling the project and setting up a realistic timeline. Communication skills are crucial in any business. Using the skill effectively will determine whether you succeed or fail. This internship process has taught me a lot when it comes to communication. I've had to learn to keep my communication as simple as possible. This has not always been easy. In the past, I wanted to pass along as much information to my leader within the first email. This, I have come to learn, is not always as effective as I had hoped. Over the last 120 hours, I have rewrote many emails in order to shorten them without losing the desired content. I am thankful that I am attending college during this process, because my vocabulary and my writing skills have been and are being honed with every class I take. This, in turn, is helping me to streamline my emails and make them more acceptable to those who have to read them. The key takeaway here is to keep the opening paragraph as short as possible and to use bullet points when needed. However, emails are not the only form of communications that we use. Face-to-face conversations are another avenue. These are difficult to master if you are not prepared for them. Here are some takeaways for face-to-face meetings. If at all possible, do not do them. Impromptu meetings are not fair to either party. However, if they do have to take place, keep them brief and make it a habit to follow up each meeting with an email recapping what was discussed. Doing this will benefit all parties involved. The next form of communication we come to are phone calls and texting. This has become the most common form of communication within the facilities department. Yet even these forms of communication can have their failings. I have found through this internship it is best, once again, to follow up each conversation with an email bulleting the details. If during these communications a follow-up meeting is needed, immediately add it to your calendar. Do not delay. Oftentimes, distractions come right away and can steal the remembrance of the proposed meeting. Once set, send an invite to those involved so they will have it on their calendars as well. Using this plan has proven to be very effective during my internship. And finally, using and understanding the technology that is available can prove to be most helpful. During this internship, the facilities department began to use Microsoft SharePoint. This program allows the sharing of documents. It also allows the real-time updating of these documents. The use of this technology streamlines the communication progress and decreases the need for multiple meetings. Meadowbrook Church relies on their volunteer force to assist with the day-to-day activities. However, finding these volunteers can prove to be a difficult task. Retaining them, even more so. However, the whole process requires that we make an initial contact. It is during this phase that a relationship begins. This is when we let them know that what we are all about and begin to make them aware of our day-to-day activities. We are hopeful that during this interaction we can find a place for them that helps them to meet their expectation and find a place on our team. The next phase is, in my opinion, the fun part, building relationships. Now, building relationships is hard and yet it's very rewarding. As we get to know our volunteers closely, we're able to learn about their strengths, their skills, their desires. With this knowledge, we are able to find the perfect fit within our department. The correct fit will bring them fulfillment while serving and a lasting relationship. They now have ownership in the tasks and they are given and become more likely to stay. They now have ownership in a task they are given and become more likely to stay. Finally, I learned that it can be very advantageous to schedule tasks in advance with them for the upcoming week. This will allow them to come prepared to serve. Having an idea of what is to come builds an anticipation and an expectation for serving. This helps our volunteers to be invested in the ministry and find value in what they do. Through this internship, I have learned many skills that I can take with me as I explore what I believe to be the vocation that God has chosen for me. As I continue with my college classes here at Southeastern University, more information and new ideas are continually coming across my path. This has given me new opportunities to grow and expand my horizons. I believe my future has become a brighter because of the path that I am currently on.